Okay, guys, back to our daily routine. So just trying to make sure that everything is working on the platform where we are streaming on. See on my YouTube. Back to the routine. Yeah, I think YouTube. Yeah, YouTube is live. Yeah, it's working. Let me see the thing. Yeah, which is also okay. So yeah, guys, most of the times my YouTube and LinkedIn always kind of get this problem. Sometimes in the middle of the stream they kind of like cut it off. I don't know why YouTube is doing that, but if that happens, you could just go straight to stream, not stream, go straight to Twitch. So Twitch is actually working fine. I think we are good to go. Yeah. Yeah, we're good to go. So basically, the new stream today will be based on React Native. So we've been doing on Flutter for quite some time right now, and I think we are almost there at finishing the Flutter app. And yeah, so I think we could just do a bit of React Native today, and also maybe the next stream might be on SwiftUI or even Flutter, but not yet decided on that. But yeah, so let's kind of like work on React Native today. So if you have been following along, so this from the previous so this is episode 2 to the episode 1 of this series. So this is for React Native, and we did the episode 1 last time, so you can actually see that on my YouTube. Check that on my YouTube if you're interested on watching that. So we are currently checking out our building the onboarding section. So this is the first screen. So that I think, yeah, so there's the welcome screen, and from there you can just get to the, why is it not? Yeah, so there's the, yeah, so that's how it works. So first of all, you see the welcome screen, which we call, yeah, so yeah, welcome screen. So once that kind of like complete for a few seconds, so it moves out, then you could just see the onboarding section. And the onboarding section, we are using a Lotify. So the animation is not done by myself, so this is actually a Lotify that we are adding here. So if you are looking on how to add Lotifies to your React Native app, you can actually check the previous episode. We did that, and we completed the welcome screen there too. Yeah, so based on this, so the next thing we could actually do is basically um let me see, so let's get over still on the onboarding section. Yeah, so onboard screen, so here we are, and we have the Loti app. Yeah, the Lotify here. So next is just to add, because we are making use of this file, so this is what we are creating. So I just open my browser to show you guys. Yeah. So we're actually working on this to actually convert the whole app to React Native and um, push it to production. So that's the idea behind every project on this platform. It's just to get stuff from beginning to the end, and then have it out there and see how people uses it. Yeah, kind of make money from it. So not just a tutorial. So I don't call it a tutorial, because tutorial is just like something you show people how to do some stuff and then dump it. But in this case, just like earn money from it. That's the end goal with the whole stuff. And yeah, so basically we completed the welcome screen, like I said. So we are working on the onboarding screen, and if you look, you can see there's a difference. So the difference that over here they are using an image, so an image of a banquet, yeah, a flower inside this presentation stuff. And I looked to find this image, but I couldn't find it. And yeah, so that's why I skipped that. And also one stuff you should actually know once you are working on apps or products, something like that, you are not limited to one particular idea or one particular solution to solve some stuff. So once I can't get this, I look for an alternative and found this, which is the Notify, and it's still actually showing the same stuff. Yeah, you're just telling people, kind of using a picture for an emotion, telling people what the app is doing. So that's why I use this Notify, and I'm going to use that, then still keep to this UI that we have here. So the next will be just to add this test. So the test says order your favorite flowers. We can just add that somewhere in our hard code test. So I hard code my test here. I'll say static so welcome test 2. Just order your gonna have okay, order your favorite flower. Yeah, so order your favorite flowers, and that's what we have. Yeah, I think all this should be capped to F. Both of them should be capped to F, and we can just start using that. Just import that custom test the same way we imported it right here. I'll comment this. As we just leave this test that we have here, so you could just, where did that go? So it should actually show up here. Maybe we didn't okay, I'll just look into that, but for now let's work on this. The test showing up here, and I'm going to remove the test that we have. Basically use a hard-coded one. Hard-coded test dot welcome test 2. So that's what we're going to display here. Next is just to style this up, and inside our container, inside our styles here, and I'm going to say test 1, call that test 1, and the styles will basically be this. Font size 60, I think that's still too much. Let's try 40 until we see how that looks. Color, no, not what I'm trying to do. So basically go back to color. Yeah, black, just do that black. See how that looks. I think that should be it. So let's try this out. Over here is the style property, and inside the style property, just basically use this in there. So I'm going to target styles dot test 1, save that. Yeah, so that's showing up here, but I'm pretty sure that's not what we want to achieve. So it shouldn't be way up there. Let me see. Okay, let's actually look at this first. So let's say 20 pixels. What about try 23? And then we added a font right in. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to use font family. Font family will be not this, but enter. Let's bring this out down first. So while we having see grouping this inside the view. Okay, and group this also inside the view. Okay, the quoting goes up. Just trying this out to see if there's any change that happens with this. So I'm gonna say styles item 1. Interesting. Okay, I think that looks good. So we have that because we want this text to be under this. Okay, let's reduce this a bit. Show something like 300 by 300. Okay, I think that should be enough. But from the top, the margin of 190, for me, I think that's too much. So there's something I usually do that actually helps me in positioning stuff. That's basically coming from the idea. Basically comes from working with Flutter. So I use the screen's height or width to actually work on the responsiveness and positioning of stuff on the screen. So you can actually use that on React Native also. So you can actually get the screen height by using this, and also you can get the screen width too by actually using the same way. For the height, what I could do is basically remove this and make use of the screen height. So division, I could just say multiply that with 0.1. Yeah, so I can just push it back again. Let's say 0.08. So I'm trying to position this a bit, see where this started. So you can see the spacing. I think okay, push it down a bit. So let's give it 0.9. Yeah, could leave it that way. And then there should be a spacing for the text too. Just call this styles.item, but instead of calling it item 1, I'll just call it item 2. And below here, I'll just create item 2. Margin top, let's reduce this to 4, so you can actually see, yeah, there's a spacing between this and this, like what we have here. from the space between this item and this particular item showing up here. Okay, what about 300? Yeah, so have that position, order your favorite flowers. So actually trying to get the whole the actual design that we have here. Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to make the text actually looks a bit, and the way it's been styled right here. And you can actually see the order your favorite. Did I spell that wrong? So FAVO. Okay, okay, I see we are missing the U. I think the both spelling are different. I think that based on the American spelling and the British spelling, if I'm right, yeah. I think the spelling is based on American spelling and British spelling. So let's add the U there. So the favorites. Yeah, so that goes in there. Next we have to actually make this to be bold a bit. You can see there is a bit bold, unlike what we have here. So I think we can actually work on that. The boldness can actually tap into the font weight. Yeah, font weight. Make bold, but that's too much, so we don't want that. So we're going to use the font weight we have here for our fonts. You can see that we have the regular, we have the medium. So I could say medium. Okay, okay. It gives us a problem. So medium should be around, that should be 400 or 500 if I'm right. So let's remove this. I'm passing 400 in there. Try 500. Yeah, I think this is okay. Next is basically add a button that we're missing right to just add a button. I think we are good to go. For the button, we are going to add a custom button for this. So head over here, so we have the screens, we have the color. Okay. Basically have to create a new folder. But it would have been great if we actually add all this inside a single source directory. I'm going to create that, so I'm going to say but that will actually cause some issues. But for now, let's actually work with this. But we are going to create that at the end of this lesson. And they create a component file folder. And in there, each component are going to have a new folder for each of the components. For this one, I'm going to call this custom yeah. In there, I'm going to have a file. And in here, we are going to just basically go ahead and create a custom component that we want. So I'm going to call this yeah, so use this. So basically, if you want to generate a React scaffold template or something like that, just type RF on your VS Code, and we suggest. So basically, have this. The first one is called React function without an export. The second one is called React function with an export, and this one is called React function with a props, and React function with a redux, and so on and so forth. I basically mostly use this one, yeah, to generate that. It imports a React component, and next we want to actually import our React Native components. So I'm going to mark that, yeah, for React Native. Remove this, I don't need this. And what I need to import again is what we call Touchable for creating a custom button. I think that was basically called Touchable Opacity, yeah. So actually have that feel that you are touching a button. So in there, I'm going to create our button. So our button will start having a view inside it, and in there is going to be a test, and the test for the button I'm going to hard code it in here. So I'm going to call it welcome test. I'm going to call it button test 1. Okay, I'll actually call it button test 1. Yeah, test 1. So get started. I think that's what I should. Yeah, get started. And then I could just import it in here. Let's copy the same what I did. Yeah, so I just add code that. Replace whatever we have in here with it. Should be hard coded test dot yeah, onboard button test 1, and then below here I'm going to create a style. Yeah. And inside our style, first one will be the button style. I see. Okay, I'm going to say what is parent, and in there I'm going to start off by saying the elevation, the button elevation should be 8, and the background color I'll just leave it for this at the moment. And okay, let's leave this, and then style the text itself inside the button. Kind of feel like you have to write too much when kind of like too much styles when you're working with React Native, but on Flutter it don't need this much stuff. And then we have font size 18, and have the color property to be white. Go ahead and save this, head over here and style this up. So style equals to so I should be parent next. This is styles. It should be styles dot test. And then for the opacity, for the touchable opacity, we need to style it too. Not styling, but add some stuff. So first of all, I'm going to say active opacity. So 0.8 plus. So that's the function. For now, I'm going to pass in this particular function to it, which I'm going to change. But let's use this outside here within an onboard screen right in here. So I'm going to basically use it here. So let me see. Yeah, that should be under our test view. So you're going to see the red line under it, but that's basically because we haven't imported that. So basically go ahead and say import, yeah, dot component slash custom btn slash custom btn, yeah, save that. Yeah, I think, yeah, there we go. So this is our button, and you can actually see that get started. If you tap on it, you see the opacity be shown, but that's not how we want the button to look like. So we want it to look exactly like this. So this should be the look of the button, so we need to work on that. So head over to the button itself, and the background color, we are going to change that, could come from actual our hard-coded colors that we have here. So the issue, and if we have to go to the colors, hard-coded colors that we have, I think we already added the button colors right there. Yeah, I think app main colors, yeah, that's the color we had coded it already. Going to use that in here for the background color. Yeah, so there we go, that's it. And next is the button color. The text color is white, and the text size, we need to reduce that using font size, not this. Okay, we already have font size. Just make that a bit bold. Let's try 14 on it, and the color should be white. But I'm going to get a color from stay over here. So the color is basically going to be app background color. Remove this. Yeah, I'm gonna save that. So you have the same color. Next off is basically go ahead and style most of that. So we already have the background color to be this. Border radius. Before we add the border radius, we actually need to give the height and size to that button. So I'm going to say width. No. But this looks too big. Let's give it 200 in width. Okay, in height, instead of using the height, what if we use a padding? So I'm going to use padding, vertical, say 10. So I have 10, and I'm going to center the text using alignment, basically text align, center, yeah. And next is just to use the border radius in here, border. There we go, but need to increase this. What about 15? Let's try 18. Yeah, I think we got it right. So if you look here, you can actually see this taking a shape. It basically looks exactly like what we have here. You can see the shape of the button, yeah, and you can see the get started text in there. But we need to actually make this button to be the width to be longer, to match up with what we have here. So I'm going to increase the width of the button. I'm going to say 250. I think that should be enough. And then we should actually put it down, a space between the text and that button. That should be on that onboard screen, and we target this view. So this is the view we're going to give a bottom margin to actually be able to push that down. And I'm going to say margin bottom. Okay, and there we go. So you can actually see that taking shape. So I have the margin bottom added. I think that's it. So if you take a look at what we have so far and what's over here, you see there's no much different. They're actually the same, just that the difference, the icon or image being used here is different from the image we used here, and the text is still the same, and yeah, it's still the same. Yeah, so just added some small modification to the bottom, to the button, so I can actually mash up a bit. I think that's it. So what we have to work on is that when someone taps on this, it should be able to take us to this screen, which is the sign up screen or create account screen, which we are having over here. So that should be the next stuff we'll be working on. So let's include that. And I'm going to create a new screen, a new folder. I'm going to call that instead of calling this sign up, what if we call it auth screen? Instead of calling this sign up, I'll just actually leave it that way. Yeah, in there I'm going to have create account. .tsx. Let's import the views. Alright, and yeah, most of the imports we didn't use it, so the ones we didn't use, basically remove those. Since we removed that, so let me see what else. So we have the screen right here. Yeah, so replace this with a view. Inside the view, replace that with a test. Like that. Save that. Next we're going to add that because here in our welcome screen we said when the navigation dot navigate to onboard screen, and we are still going to use the same method, but right now we need to add this to our onboard inside our navigation. So yeah, we have the stack dot screen navigation screen navigation stack. So to say under it, we're going to add stack dot screen. I think it's right time to just remove this. You don't need it anymore, just delete them. So the components shouldn't be home screen. The components I'm going to add we are going to import it, and so importing it, so I'm going to say import. So actually, what's the name again? Create account. Yeah, create account screen. Yeah, so that's already imported. So yeah, there we go. So that's the component. Just go ahead and save this. And now we are going to head over to the just going to copy this navigation. This use navigation that we added here. That will come in handy. So head over to our onboard screen. So we're going to use it in here. So we need to import this. Yeah. So let's see what else we need to do. So when someone taps on this button, okay, that reminds me we didn't add a callback for the button that we created. And I'm going to say for the button, we are going to customize the button right now with a props. Because since we are using a type script, so I'm going to create a type for our button, and the type is going to be button props. So call that btm props. And I'm going to say the one of the property is going to be a name. So the name is actually should be required, and can I do okay since it's going to be a name. Yeah, it should be required, not optional. So since it should be required, so I'm going to remove that. Yeah, the name of the button should be required. And then we have the children properties. So if someone wants to add a children nose or within the button, can actually allow them to do that, and then we can actually maybe want to modify the button or something like that, get access to the children and do whatever we want to do. And then have the handle click. I'm going to call that, still call that on place. Yeah, on plus, going to return a void, and then in here I'm going to pass in that particular on press to it. But before we do that, so we have to give this a type. I'm just modifying this to be a different function. So what do we call this again? Anonymous function. Yeah. So assign it to this variable called custom btm, and again the prop types is this. We are using React function component like this, and we are passing in the props type. We can actually get access to those props by typing into a property called I'm going to name that props. Props, yeah, like that. I think there's no need of adding these brackets. So since we're not adding another parameters to it, so remove the brackets. What I'm going to do is basically saying so since we want to remove this, so I'm going to say props dot name. There we go. And again, we want to remove this. I'm going to say props dot on place. I think that should be it. Go ahead and save this. So that will be an issue because right now the text goes away, but I'm going to copy the text out of here, so we don't need it in here anymore, and move it on to the onboard screen where we need it, and to pass in Okay, hard coded text is already there. For the button, I'm going to say name, tap into the name property of the button. And next is the on place for the button. For now, when someone taps on the button, I want to send the person to the new screen, which is the create screen, and I'm going to use a navigation dot navigate to. So where do we want to navigate to? The screen we want to navigate to is called so what was the name we gave to it again? So we called it create accounts. So we should call that create. Yeah, so this should be it. And let's try that. So you tap on this, you see it takes us to the new screen, which is the our create account screen. So you can actually go back, drag it down, up and back. So tap again, it takes you to the screen that we're looking for. Drag back. So that's basically what we're looking to do, to achieve right here. So right now we are on the create account screen, which should be this one right here. So these are the screen that we're trying to create right now. So we have a text that says Flowery at the top. We have, okay, yeah, so you guys could actually see this, but I'm going to remove it from the screen so we can actually see our code. I haven't found a way to actually put the design side by side with the code yet, but if that's possible, I can put that in this stream, so you can actually be seeing both of them at the same time. Yeah, so let's create that. So the first one will be the test inside our create account. The test says Flowery. We are going to actually use the same test that we use here. Inside our welcome screen, we have the animated test. I think we'll actually apply same stuff. Let's see. Wouldn't it make sense if we actually move this to be a different widget? I call the widget a different component, like this animated test. Move it out on its own. Okay, let's move it out. So I'm going to say over here inside our component, create a new one called animated test. So custom animated test, and inside the custom animated test, we're going to add something called so I'm going to move the whole stuff out inside here. So there we go. Let's copy the animated view itself, only the animated view. So that's what I'm trying to move out. Put that in place of this. So we are going to have a whole lot of errors that we need to fix right now. So the first thing I'm going to do is to copy this and move it in here. Okay. Next will be to add this animation. Add that in here. So that one throws an error, so we need to copy this. Okay, let's see what else we need to fix. So we not need on start do this. So basically, if you want the animation to do something when it stops, so you're just going to add a callback function to it. So whenever the animation stops, it's going to call this to navigate to a second screen, but that's not what we want from the animated test. I'm going to go ahead and remove this entirely. Yeah, there we go. Let's see if there's something else. Okay, we have the styles and the hard-coded text that we want to change. So for the styles, I'm going to create this, copy this over, and make some modification to it. Just copying stuff so that because we didn't use most of them, I think we didn't use this. I'm going to delete this from the welcome screen. We didn't use the view, so I'm going to remove the view. Then hard-coded test, I'm going to create a prop for this because the test will actually be dynamic for different screen or using the same test. I think it will be actually make sense to just make it dynamic for different screens. And I'm going to head over here. Let's create a type for it. So you just already have a name property, which are going to again just say React FC type. We basically was the type again. So the animated test props that we added. Get rid of that from here. Props. Remove the bracket, and there we go. Keep it this way. And so using this hard-coded test, I'm just going to remove that. I'm passing. What do we want to pass in again? Yeah, props dot name. Yeah, so that should be it. Go ahead and save this. Now we can actually make use of this in different screens right now. Let's see. So we want to add that somewhere. Create account screen. Say import animated test. So you're going to import that for us, and that should be the first thing showing up here. Name should be Flowery, not create account, but we'll just leave it at create account for now. Save that. Tap over here. So there we go. Okay. Looks like we have an issue right now. Some debugging here. Okay, guys, I'm actually talking to everyone. Sometimes I just actually forget that. Start talking to myself. If that what it looks like, but I'm not talking to myself. I'm talking to everyone. Sorry for the rate to the price. Shot. So I have messages from Twitch chat. So someone was asking if I'm talking to myself or talking to everyone. I'm talking to everyone, not to myself. Is there a mad person that talks to himself? So I'm talking to everyone, not myself. Yeah, just I don't know. I don't see the Twitch messages, so I think that's the reason I didn't know that something was going on here. So guys, just hit me up on YouTube because I actually see the messages on YouTube. So yeah, I will reply more if you hit on YouTube. So yeah, I think that's the issue. Okay, so I think we're actually trying to fix an issue. We're trying to create a component, and for some reason the component, the animation isn't working, or it works before the screens appears. One of those cases, we can note this. So this is already animated components. I'm not trying to use that. Okay, think would make sense if I pass all this up to the parents and then pass it down to the to this, like appear translate from this, then passing the animation to it. I think that actually work. Let me see. Okay, this should be a type animated value. Let's try that out and see if that works. So I'm just going to say translate X. Then we can actually access that. Right, that shouldn't be optional. We don't want to make it optional. And in here, we just access that right here and say props instead of this. So comment this out, copy that, and then paste it here, and then remove this. I'm going to say props dot translate X, and then move all this stuff out of here. Hope you're not introducing any bugs, so just move, comment it out. Okay, I see. Next we could actually do head over to the onboard screen, because that's what we are trying to use. The not onboard screen, that should be inside create account screen. Add all those stuff in there. Let's see, that should be use effects. And again, the next one should be use states. I think that should be it. And then we have the animated value there. This to -90, and then we have the translate X to be basically appear from left. Yeah, and I'll save that. Let's try this. Okay, this is actually not actually solving the issue that we were fixing. Let me see. That's not what we're looking for. Just want us to actually animate to each space. Okay, I see. So we actually the one come on. I saw that right here in the welcome screen and skipped adding that. So actually you have to call the start, which should be actually it should be the sensible stuff to do. when you're trying to work with animation, you should be able to start the animation and stop the animation by using some kind of functions. And I kind of forgot that we need to call the either the starts to start the animation or stop to stop the animation. Yeah, I think that's why the animation was not working previously. So in that case, I think we just move back here, keep using what we're using, and I'm going to remove this path. Just use what we are having before. I think that should be it. And I'm going to call the start right here to actually start the animation. I can actually see that animating to each place, but before that, yeah, once we do that, so basically go and undo whatever we did here. So whatever we did here, undo them. We don't need them anymore. Yeah, good to go. But there's something we're missing, so that should be animated test. So that should be minus 90. Yeah. So 190. I'm going to say minus 200. Yeah, I think that should be it. We are good to go. So next is basically having the spacing. So that should be animating all the way to the center and not at the left. If I'm correct, yeah, that should be all the way to the center, not from the left. Let's say all the way to 200. Okay, what about all the way to 100? That should be center of the screen, all the way to 100. Okay. Yeah, so let's try the animation again. Restart. Okay, tap on this. Okay, yeah, think that's good. So guys, if you actually run into this issue on your own while building, just add the start function on it, and yeah, you're good to go. So guys, I'm just replying to the chat. Yeah. Okay, back here. So this should actually have a little bit of spacing from the top, not all the way down here, so that should be a little bit. And to add that, I'm going to remove this for saying 1. Yeah, I think that should be okay. I'll just say 0.6. No, that's too much. 8. I'll just leave it at 1. And once we add that, so the next is just to start adding other tests that we need. So I'm going to create a sign-in test. So right here, I'm going to create a new test under this, and I'm going to call that to actually say sign in. So in here, I'm going to hard code the test in our hard coded test property. Yeah, so it says sign in your account. Yeah, that's the test we want to add. We'll just head back here and start using that. My. Okay, so there we go. And the test should have styling. So I'm just yeah. And in there, I'm going to say first one should be sign in test. So we shall have a font size of 30, but that's too much. Let's leave it at 20. Say style. So we are going to add a style here, and that style basically will be styles dots. Yeah, just add a style sign in test style in there. Yeah, and font size of 20. But let's test this out. I'll see. Looking at what we have here. Okay, this should say create account, not actually sign in test. So create account. Mistake with the okay, we are actually using this one as signing. So but this is the one we need to create. So this is the screen we are working on. So it should say create your account. Say next one, call this to be call this to be 1, and then call this to be 2. And this, okay, we have to reduce the font size a bit and make it bold. I think that's all. Over here, so say 18. Yeah, and then make it bold. Just say font weight. But not too bold. Let's try medium, and the font family. Font family. It basically enter. So remember the font we're using. The font we're using is called enter. And then go ahead and save that. let's increase this to 600. I think that's okay. We're good. We could go with that. And then the one we are missing here is the main container style. So the main container style, the background color is basically the app main, no, not the app main color. So the app background color, so that's when we are going to go for our background color, and you should have a padding all around it. So you're going to use padding horizontal. Because if you look at the design we have, you can see there's a padding showing off here. So I'm thinking that should be around 20 pixels or thereabout, but we'll actually look and see how that fits in. So we should add that padding here and add it here, and yeah, I think that should be it. Okay, stars. Let's make it around somewhere like 35. I think that should be okay. And you could actually see that the animated test is going off. Let's say all the way to 90, all the way to 30. Okay, that's 2. All the way to 80. Yeah, let's leave it that way. And let's add it up. So from this to this, it actually has a big spacing. So we can actually use from our head, calculate that should be way somewhere around screen height. I'm going to say make container. So yeah, from this I'll go to this. Yeah, I think that we got it. Maybe add a bit of pictures. Let's say 5. Yeah, I think that should be okay. We made a mistake in the spelling. It shouldn't be create account. It should be create your account. Yeah, create your account. Below it, then we could start adding this input field that we need to create here, and we could get that from here. It's called test field. Test inputs. So since it's called test inputs, and we are going to use it in multiple places, it does make sense to actually create it as a separate component. But first of all, let's see how that looks here. That's how I work. So I do my stuff, so I just see how it looks, then move it to a separate component. I'm going to say test input, style input, placeholder, whatever. So placeholder for the first one should say username. So that's what we'll be working with for now until we good, and then move it as a separate component. Input, say input 1. Yeah, username, that's what we need. and the styles.input. So the styles.input, let's see. Yeah, there we go. So you can actually see that there, but it's not that visible. So let's see. So should I give it a background color? Yeah, but that's not the one we want, so we're gonna give it this one. Oh, okay, no, I think that should be pure white. Just leave it at white. Yeah, I think that should be white. Yeah, just leave it at white, because if you look at this, yeah, next is going to be say about 20. Yeah, with a 20, and next is going to be border radius. Yeah, I think that makes sense. 10, and adding vertical. Okay. Okay, that's too much. So 45. Yeah, I think that this should be okay for now. Just leave it at 26. Or you can actually because if you look here, if you guys look, you could see yeah, that's the same roundness that we're getting here. I think that should be okay. I don't know if you guys have seen this clear. It looks a bit small for me. I think it's okay now. Yeah, so you can actually see how that looks, the curve, the border radius around each and every one of them. Yeah, see, so let's go ahead and create other test input fields. So in that case, I think it's now a good time to actually move this out as a separate component on its own. Basically move it to a new component, and in here I'm going to call the custom inputs. Let's see. So once we have this personally stuff I moved in, and again I'm going to import so remove most of this we have here because we don't need most of the styles that's in here, and then return test inputs. Basically return a test input inside a view, but we need to import our view. I think that should be it. And once we do that, let's see changes that we need to solve. So I will create a type input test props. And let me see. Was it called again? Yeah, input test props. Let's remove this brackets and personal props that we can actually use to access every props that has been passed in, or we could just use the structuring in there, and this to be props dots placeholder. I think that should be it. And I can actually move ahead and start using this inside our create accounts, whereby I can remove this. We don't need this again. And then basically go ahead and import this. Yeah, if you save that, that's still there, but there's an issue right now. We need to fix the placeholder, and the placeholder is coming from the hard-coded test dots, and there we go. So there we have it. And right now we are going to add this a multiple of it, like at least 2 more times. Yeah, so you can see those added. First stuff we need to fix is to have a sign in test, have a margin button, or let's make that a tree a bit. Okay, I think this is okay. Yeah. And now the next one will be the input field should also have a margin on its own, margin bottom-ish. Yeah, I think that should be okay. Can I make that to be 25? Just leave it at 20. Yeah, leave it at 20. And then change the input placeholder names, so say something different. Let me see. Okay, so this one I will just say this should say email. Okay, this should say password. Save that, and in here you can just not in there. So yeah, let's change this. So 2, 3. There you could actually see the username, email, and password like what we have right here. Yeah, so we added this. Let's go ahead and add this agree section. So it says I agree to terms and conditions, sign up, and yeah, let's see. So under there, so that agree section, I think we actually make that to be a separate for yeah, because it can be used on multiple places, so it should be separate. So we're going to create it here first and see how that looks, and we are going to move it to be a separate component on this. And so I'm going to say that should basically be a view, a different view, and inside view, that view are going to have a Sakura view. So I'm going to have another view inside the same view. So I have another view. After that, I'm going to have a test view, a test component. I think that should be it. For this should actually say I agree for now. Yeah, just have credit for now, since we're going to move it to be a separate component. Just say I agree to terms and conditions. Okay, I think that should be it. So let's go ahead. So this should be call this agree container, and the next will be agree circle, and this should flex direction row, and agree circle width 20, height 20, color border reduce 10, background color, you should actually have a way to actually list the children for us, so instead of actually having to type through them every single time, and that's how you can actually do that. So let's try see if this will actually show its type. If you hover on, okay, that's not actually working. I thought if you hover over it, you should be able to supply the. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. So this first one will be agree container, of style. Yeah, styles, the agree container, and this one here will be basically styles called is agree circle. I think that should solve the issues right now. Go ahead and save this. Yeah, there we go. So you can actually see the circle that we're looking for. But that should be a little, I think you could actually leave it this way. Yeah, I think that the size is okay. 20 height, 20, but I reduced 10. Okay, I can actually say margin right to be 10, sort of 10. What I reduce it to 5. I think that works. And next is to see how to bring this, call this a grid test. Is actually too big. Let's say trees should be 12 pixels. Yeah, should be 12 pixels. Like 3. Okay. Let's see. But we are actually looking at the design we have here and see how that's working, coming out. Yeah, so the terms and conditions should actually have an underline under it. So that means we need to have a new view inside this tool, or we don't, and then have a separate test. So this should say I agree to, and then this should say terms and condition. Yeah, I'm looking for test underline, not that. I should have something called test. Okay, underline. Yeah, so that's basically what I'm looking for. Yeah. In here, so they should have test underline property. So this is only one that will be underlined, and the rest will not be underlined. I think that should be it. So the next stuff we're going to add is an icon. I need to add an icon, but before we do that, we can just go ahead and add under this. I'm going to add a custom custom button. Okay, the button right now should say sign up. There we go. Save this. Yeah, we have the button saying sign up, and we need to position that in the middle of our app. And then we have the unplus property, which for now is going to be an anonymous function. Just that. Property children is missing. There we go. So that will just center the whole stuff. I think add a margin top, add it. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Put that a bit, so this, yeah, I think that makes sense. And next, inside the center, we're going to add a test. And we need two tests, so just basically add two tests to it. Once we add that, so the first one is going to say already a member. So already a member. Question mark. The second one will basically be sign up. Okay, so we have that displayed row, and also let me see. Yeah, it's gonna have a margin top to it too. Say margin top. Yep, I think that works that way. So I have a margin top of, okay, yeah, So next we're going to have spacing between those tests. Yeah, so I have this. So this will have a app main color, font family, font weights, and also font family will basically be enter. Yeah, so that will go. So that should actually say sign up, and we have margin left. Nice. And let me see. So if you check this up with what we have in our design, we can actually see the whole thing taking shape. So the only stuff that looks odd here is the main text here. So because we haven't found the actual typography that was used here, so I was actually looking for that, but I was not able to find that. So that's why I was using this typography, but I was still looking into it to see if I could find that particular typography, so that we could actually have everything looking the same and the way it's supposed to be. Yeah, after apart from that, you could actually see the other ones taking shape. You could see the input fields, see that, see this. Yeah, I think that should be it. So the next stuff we have to tackle on, if you look at this input field, you can see that we have the show or hide icon on it. So we actually need to tackle that one also, so that we'll be able to have the show or hide icon inside it. I think that should be it. Let me see. Okay, let's finish this off first. So this should have a icon inside it. I think we added an icon package. So we didn't add an icon package, and we need to add an icon package. So this is the icon package we're trying to add. So the npm path. So yeah, so we have to add this icon package, which have all these icons we can actually target and use. But there are some instructions to add this, so let's follow these instructions. Installation. So bundle installation, run npm install save. Okay, we start with this. But before we'll be able to do that, we need to actually stop our our debugger from running, which should be this. So I have to stop this from running. And how do we stop that? Just Ctrl C and Enter key, and that will stop running. And next we get head over here and add that command that we are asked to run. So we added that. Let's see what else they ask us to do. I think that should be somewhere. Tap into the guys, sorry. Yeah, I'm back again. I was just a message. Yeah, so we okay, after the installation, let's see what steps we need to take. So for each platform, okay. I think I did this previously on one of the projects I worked on. Let me open my S code. Yeah, so that was on Home Finder app. Open that. Yeah, like I said, I kind of like have done that in a similar project with React Native. So I'm going to look at those icons that I added. So I added feather icon, font awesome icon, and icons, material icon, and simple line icons. So what we could actually do is to open our project. I'm going to open this project, the iOS path folder. Just review that in a folder, and then head into the iOS folder and open S workspace, this white one. That's the one you have to open. Open up. I need to minimize this a bit. And next, I think you just copy all this stuff, this and this. Copy that. There's no copy. Let me see. So this should be the one you're selecting, because they actually talked about that. So just yeah. Okay, let's do that path now. I'm going to minimize this and just tap on finish, and the whole stuff will be added here. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize this path. I don't need that anymore. So this is the current one we're working on, the Flowery app. And next step after that is to open our info.p list and add a property called fonts provided by application. So we need to update those. If okay, open this, still need this. So I'm going to open the info.p list, open it as source code, and I think there's a property that we are looking for, UI fonts. That's the key. Yeah, that's key, UI font. Then open the info.p list here, open as source code. I think you can actually see, you can actually see that that has already been added, UI fonts, and inside there we added the fonts that we have been using in our app. But right now we want to add the icon fonts, and the icon we want to add is basically copy the feather icon, because I added that. Add the feather icon first. See over here. And next will be to add the fonts awesome. Next is basically to add a Ionic Icons. So let's see, added how many fonts now? 1, 2, 3. So that should be feather font 3, and the last one is simple line icon. And the simple line icon is basically this one right here. Yeah, I think that should be it. Save this. Yeah, so these are Flowery app still open, and once that is done, so list all the available fonts to copy and paste. So we don't need this. In your Xcode setting, your build phases tab under copy bundle resources, add the fonts you have copied in the fonts directory, and that should be copy bundle resources. There we go. So we need to add those fonts in here. This one. Let's see. So they already been added. So you have simple line icon, font, feather icon, Ionic icon, font awesome. So they already been added, so we don't need to add that. So let's see what are steps. So after that, so when using auto-linking, it will automatically add all fonts to build phases, copy pod resources, which will end up in your bundle. To avoid that, create a React Native. Okay, we already have that, so basically add this, and I'm going to copy that. So they're asking us to add those stuff inside here. So I'm going to paste the code. And paste the code. So that's what I did right now. And I think this should solve the issues. We need to add for Android too. So this is for iOS. For Android, just this method has the advantage of the front. Okay, edit Android slash app slash bundle Gradle. Okay, Android slash app slash bundle Gradle. And we need to add this. So Android app source no so just app, then the bundle Gradle inside the app. Yeah, just paste that in here below this line, which you're going to see your new code. Just paste that somewhere in here. And once that is done, so let's see the next step. So to customize the files being copied, add the following instead. So the name of the font files that we want to copy, we have to add them. So we don't need this line anymore. Okay, we already added that. Okay, we don't need to say project is a good React. So project is a good font, vector icons. Remember the icons we wanted to use, which are basically in here, and that's feather.ttf. Copy that and replace this with it. And next is font awesome.ttf. And next is also the Ionic Icons.ttf. Just copy those. The last one is a simple line icons.ttf. Yeah, that's the last one in here. I think that's it. We are done. Go ahead and save this again. Once that is saved, exit from there, exit from here. We have to run auto linking. If I could still remember, the code for auto linking here should be that's not what we're trying to achieve here. But let's run this code and see if there's any issues. So to add the icon, just import the icons that we want to add, and then call. See. Okay, I see. I just will add it here for now, just for testing purposes. Okay, we need to add a type for, because we are using React Native, but without, if you're not using React Native, you don't need to add that path, this part, you don't need to do this. Okay, and that will actually solve this issue. So go ahead and save this, and then let's try and run this code. Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, that's working. You can actually see the icon showing up. That's a good sign. So, but what we are looking for is actually to add the check mark icon. Basically the icons I like using is the Ionic icon. Yeah, the Ionic icon, which should be from here. Just type check, yeah, this, and just say check outline. Then let's basically remove this font awesome. We're not looking for font awesome. That should be ion icons, and then replace this with the icon test. And if you save that, yeah, that's what we're looking for. But we need to reduce the height. Okay, that's too small. Let's say around 20. I think trying to find a good level for this. Okay, I think that should be good now. So just copy that, copy it out. So because we don't want it to be in there, where we want to put it is we want to put it inside here. Put it inside here, and then if you go ahead and save that, and that should be in here. But because yeah, we need to center that. And how do we center that? I will just say justify contents. So we center let's say flex direction, row, align items, center. Yeah, so that will just center this inside. But if you look at the design we have, you can actually, if you guys look at the design we have, you can actually see that the color for this is actually white. A bit is white color. So what we have to do is to change this to FF. Yeah, see that taking a shape of white color. Let's reduce this a bit. Yeah, I think this is okay right now. So when someone taps on this shows up to show they agreed, but once they don't tap on it, this will not show up. So that's basically what we're trying to achieve here. Yeah, I think we are done with the not almost done, so there will be a bit of changes that we need to make, and we can continue that from next time. We'll be streaming. So I almost passed the streaming time, because I said I will be streaming at least 2 hours maximum, and this is almost 2 hours and 7 minutes. So I'll see you guys on our next stream. So on our next stream, there's nothing much here to do. So what we are trying to do in the next stream is just to add this hide and show icon here. So you see the hide and show icon we have here, just add that. I think that's all. And after that, we just add some animation for this. So when you tap on this, you see some animation. So the user will not see this until they tap on it to be able to see that. That shows they agreed. And if this, you can see that, so if they tap on it, that shows they agreed. If there's no mark, that shows they didn't agree, so they need to tap for that to show up. I think that should be it. So yeah, so tomorrow, once we are done with this, then we go ahead and create other subsequent screens for it, and then we could actually start linking this to a back end. And I'm kind of thinking of which backend we'll be using, because we have used Firebase a lot. So this time around it might be app-based, the app-based one, or we could use AWS. So AWS is actually a good idea. Or we could actually use our own backend, but that would be another work, because right now I need to actually create a backend, and figure out what. Okay, yeah. Create a backend with Node.js. We can actually host it on Glitch, which is free. That actually sounds good. Yeah, but let's see the one that actually works out better. Maybe the Node.js backend, or app-based, or AWS, but we are still thinking through it. You guys can actually drop a comment and let me know what you think. And if you want to help me with the backend, we can actually join the stream, and then we could next time we can actually decide on the backend. If you can help me, then we can create the backend. Then that will be it. So yeah, see you guys tomorrow. I will actually be streaming tomorrow. Thanks you guys.